course, it's a beautiful but cold Friday morning. I mean, I really don't know if it's going to rain this morning. At some point, it was drizzling. So, if you are on your way to work or you're still at home, I would just advise that you put on clothes that would actually keep you warm. Step out with your umbrellas, and this is not the time to reveal skin. I would always stress this is not the time to reveal skin. Now, here's a quick update to people coming from the Nyanya Maraba Karu axis into the city center. I think there's a little bit of, exercise, built to happen this morning by the security operatives. So there is bound to be a little bit of gridlock this morning. Well, you're advised to leave your homes on time so that you won't be stuck in traffic, especially for those whose resumption time is 8 a.m. So please make hay while the sun is still shining. I know the sun is not out yet, but literally make hay while the sun is still shining. My name is Omoife Pisa Semere. I'll be your guide on the Eagles Morning Rise Breakfast Show this beautiful Friday morning. I'll quickly give you a heads up on what to expect from us. We started the news at 6:45 a.m. this morning. And of course, this hour, we're going to be looking at the front pages of Nigerian newspapers. And I will also bring you up to speed, on 10 things that you need to know this beautiful Friday morning. But it's going to be an abridged show. At 7:45, we should be done with the conversation as far as the pages or the newspaper review segment of the show is concerned. But of course, at 8 a.m., Vicky Vic, the sports minister on radio, will be right here to bring you up to speed with the latest happenings in the world of sport. Well, that's to tell you that we've got something for everyone, all right? And of course, at 9 a.m., I'll be back to talk processing and analyze banter, what was formerly the extra. And as always, it is my tradition not to stay with us up until that hour and even beyond. But I tell you, I can promise you that insightful conversation on the general open banter at 10 a.m. And of course, at 11, we're going to be looking at the city of Abuja so we can get up to speed with the latest happenings as far as the nation's capital is concerned. So if you're just entering the nation's capital, Abuja, welcome to conversation on the general open banter at 10 a.m. And of course, at 11, we're going to be looking at the city of Abuja so we can get up to speed with the latest happenings as far as the nation's capital is concerned. So if you're just entering the nation's capital, Abuja, welcome. And if you're on your way out, well, we'll be late because of time and also the fact that it's an abridged show this morning. And her committee on emergency rule implementation, led by its chairman, Professor Julius Ihovere. Moving away from Rivers State, the federal government has launched an ambitious national skills program to connect 20 million young Nigerians to jobs, training and entrepreneurship opportunities by 2030. Now, Vice President Kashim Shettima announced the plan as he assumed chairmanship of the reactivated board of Generation Unlimited Nigeria during its inaugural meeting in Abuja, which coincided with International Youth Day 2025. Couple of targets, to be met by the year 2030. But of course, we hope that, things would actually pan out well, right? Governor Malam Diko Umar Radha of Katsina State has announced a 3-week medical leave to address health concerns. A statement by Bala Salisu Zango, the State Commissioner for Information and Culture, on Thursday said Radha would begin his medical leave on Monday, August 18 of 2025. All right. The Airline Operators of Nigeria, AON, has lifted the lifetime ban placed on Miss Comfort Emansin by its members for unruly behavior on board Ibom Air Flight Q9303 from Uyo to Lagos on August 10, 2025. Now, the group said this followed the intervention of the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo. And in addition to the irregular statutory allocations, the federal government said the state governments and local governments are getting more funds under the current administration, leading to a surplus of about 7.1 trillion naira. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, disclosed this in at a press briefing in Abuja on Thursday. Moving on very quickly, a yet-to-be-identified boy has been brutally murdered by suspected kidnappers in Anambra State after allegedly refusing their demand to sexually assault his own sister. Now, the shocking incident was revealed by former senior special assistant to the Delta State Governor, Sheriff Oborewere, and human rights activist Harrison Gwamnishu via Gwamnishu's official Facebook page. Now, that's a very, very sad development right there. Brutally murdered by suspected kidnappers for allegedly refusing their demand to sexually harass, or assault his own sister. A lot is going on indeed. Now, Zamfara State Governor Dauda Lawal has reiterated his administration's stance against negotiating with bandits, declaring that his government will never engage with those responsible for terrorizing the state. The governor spoke on Thursday as he continued his visit to communities recently attacked by bandits, and will also have been made to understand that he claims about their liturgy surrendering, they are false and unfounded, and he's still very much on the run. But the security operatives are on the lookout for him. Now, police in Ondo State have arrested 7 suspected kidnappers of Adekunle Ajashin University, Akungba Akoko lecturer, Omoni Samuel, including his regular commercial motorcyclist, Benson Alaba, who is 45, who allegedly set him up. Now, investigations revealed that Ogungbemi Wasiu of Okeruwa Ikare provided the handset used to contact the victim's family to demand a ransom of 5 million naira. All right. The Nigeria Labour Congress has threatened a nationwide strike if the federal government fails to return what it claims to be billions of naira taken from workers' insurance contributions. It also demanded that the government fill the leadership gap in the country's Pension Regulatory Commission within a week. Well, there you have it on 10 things that you need to know this beautiful Friday morning. That being said, let us quickly take a look at the front pages of Nigerian newspapers. Like I said before, it is going to be an abridged show this morning, so I encourage you to drop or leave your comments and your voice notes even as I take a look at the front pages of Nigerian newspapers with you this morning because of time. Because it's going to be a first come first serve kind of thing on the pages this morning. All right, so if you don't send your voice notes and messages early, I'm afraid I would just have to skip them. All right. So we're starting off with the Punch newspaper, but I'll just quickly hand down the studio numbers. You can call us on 09087668888 or 09073530044. Better still, send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal number on 0909705 44 and 50. You can also join the conversation live on YouTube and Facebook at Eagles FM Abuja. Leave a comment and we'll be more than glad to acknowledge your thoughts this morning. The Punch newspaper leads with pension funds as the kicker. Strike countdown begins as PENCOM, Labour disagree. PENCOM reacts. NSITF silent as Labour issues a 7-day strike notice over alleged 40% pension fund diversion. You'll find details of that big story on page 21 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Okonjo-Iweala's positive outlook on economy sparks political debate. Okonjo-Iweala's positive outlook on economy sparks political debate. You find details on page 2. Will be part of the conversation we'll be having at the 9 o'clock hour. We're going to be, having the economists give us some sort of projection as to how, this year would end. Looking at Nigeria's economy, is it going to be like a positive outlook or not? Now, that's on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Federal government settles 2 trillion naira contractor bills, plans 2025 capital budget spending. That's on page 22. Government eyes a $4.5 billion oil production savings. Details on page 21. Tambuwal fights back over 189 billion naira EFCC probe. Tambuwal, that's a former governor of Sokoto State, fights back over 189 billion naira EFCC probe. That's on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. PDP inaugurates 44-member zoning committee, demands Wike's total loyalty. PDP inaugurates 44-member zoning committee, demands Wike's total loyalty. That's on page 20. Sting operation is the kicker. EFCC denies targeting Obasanjo, arraigns suspects today. That's on page 7. Police crush armed robber operating from Lagos refuse dump. That's on page 5. And then by-elections. INEC deploys poll materials as parties and campaigns. Details you find on page 29 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Now let's quickly take a look at the Daily Trust. Northern states pay poor pension. Northern states pay poor pension. All right, you find details on the front page, and it continues right on pages 3, 4, and 5. That's to tell you that there is some sort of expose attached to that report, so you probably would have a good read when you take a look at that one. DSS grills Mahmouda terrorist group's leader. That's on page 12. I washed toilets, bathrooms in Mushin to survive. This is coming from Falcon's captain, talking about humble beginnings. I washed toilets, bathrooms in Mushin to survive. Falcon's captain talking there. That's on page 19, by the way. Provide safety net for Nigerians. Okonjo Iweala tells Tinubu. Provide safety net for Nigerians. Okonjo Iweala tells Tinubu. That's on page 9. And then moving on to page 7, by-elections, APC, PDP, ADC in show of strength tomorrow. All right. PDP kicks as Canadian court designates party and also the APC terrorist organizations. PDP kicks as Canadian court designates party, APC terrorist organizations. I mean, we actually read that story in our major bulletin yesterday evening and also this morning, because those are very strong, claims right there. And those claims actually cause for great concern. We expect or hope that in the days to come, there will be some sort of thorough scrutiny as to what is really going on within these political parties. I mean, beyond being political parties that they are known for widely, if there is more to it, then it should be unraveled. Pastor beats children for spiritual cleansing. That's on page 24. I saw that, video on social media, and it's really, really disturbing, I tell you. Alleged 189 billion naira fraud is the kicker. What I told EFCC interrogators. This statement is credited to the former governor of Sokoto State, Waziri Tambuwal, and you'll find details on page 14 of the Daily Trust newspaper. And just on the front page, we see the story, photograph rather, that actually, says a lot about what's going on in Enugu State, talking about Governor Mba commissioning 5 mega transport terminals, 100 mass transit CNG buses in the state. Well, congratulations to the residents and good people of Enugu State at this point in time. We'll move on very quickly now to the Guardian newspaper. And the Guardian newspaper leads with parties jostle for 16 seats as crucial by-elections set stage for 2027. And we know, of course, that some political parties have been excluded from, are contesting these by-elections built for tomorrow, right? That's on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. NLC to picket NSITF, PENCOM over alleged diversion of funds. You find details on page 5. Moving on to page 29, political parties to boycott Rivers local government elections. Political parties to boycott Rivers local government elections. All right, that's on page 29. And then a prison overcrowding is the kicker. Federal government tasks public philanthropist on inmates decongestion. That's on page 30 of the Guardian newspaper. And moving on to page 6, 2027 is the kicker. PDP chair harps on party loyalty as Tambuwal tips ADC to defeat Tinubu. Mba commissions transport facilities, lauds Tinubu for subsidy removal. All right, that's on page 29. Military partners Rural Electrification Agency to power key facilities with solar. You find details on page 30. Economy now stable under Tinubu, says Okonjo-Iweala. That's the DG of the World Trade Organization talking there. All right, that's on page 3. Don't forget, this is going to be part of the focus at the 9 o'clock hour, because it's really, critical that we look at, the nation's economy. Are we really making progress or not? Maybe we are making progress, but practically, and looking at what is happening on the streets, of Nigeria, is it really something that can be justified that we are making progress economy-wise? That's on page 3, by the way. Federal government budgets fresh 3.8 trillion naira for third mainland bridge repairs. Details you'll find on page 3 as well. And still on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper, insecurity costs Nigeria 7.17 trillion naira, wipes out 40% of livestock. Report states, I like to take that headline again. Insecurity costs Nigeria 7.17 trillion naira, wipes out 40% of livestock. Report states. That's on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper. And I'll leave it there for the Guardian. The Nation newspaper would be the last, but certainly not the least. Okonjo-Iweala is the kicker. Give Tinubu credit for stabilizing the economy. Maybe I should just ring the bell to that. I mean, that instruction is coming from the Director General of the World Trade Organization. She's maybe seen something that the rest of Nigerians are yet to see or even comprehend, as far as to the economic progress that have been made under this dispensation or administration. Now, stability opens door for investment, says Edun. And the second writer says, First Lady lauds WTO DG's $50 million Women Fund. You find details on the front page. It continues on page 2. Right, by-election is the kicker. 17 parties, 637 candidates vying for 68 seats. Details on the front page. The full story you'll find on page 26. Subsidy withdrawal, facilitator of development, says Governor Umba of Enugu State. Governor inaugurates 100 CNG buses. You find details on the front page, and it continues right on page 3. PENCOM 6 increase in federal government's police pension contribution. PENCOM 6 increase in federal government's police pension contribution. That's on page 3 of the Nation newspaper this morning. Now, Kwara monarch to indigents of community attacked by terrorists come home. Kwara monarch to indigents of community attacked by terrorists. He's telling them to come back home. That's on page 6, by the way. Obi endorses ADC candidates in by-elections. All right, no Labour Party standard bearers. That's on page 26. EFCC begins arraignment of 93 arrested at OBJ Library. All right, that one you'll find on page 6 as well. And inflation drops for 4th consecutive time. Forex, food push rates down. Let me just take that again. Inflation drops for 4th consecutive time. Forex and food are the major factors pushing down inflation rate in Nigeria. That's what we've been made to understand. You find details on page 7. I'm really glad that all of these updates are coming up so we can have a very, very candid conversation at the 9 o'clock hour. So if you are indeed concerned about Nigeria's economy and the progression of events, I encourage you to join us at the 9 o'clock hour so you can learn a thing or two, and also share your thoughts with us as to whether or not we are making, headway or progress. That being said, that's just going to be about the size of the headlines I will be taking across Nigerian newspapers this morning. Our studio lines are already open. Do what to call in now to share your 2 cents with us as to what you make of these blazing headlines making the rounds across 9 newspapers this morning. Once again, the numbers to call are 09073530044 or 0908766 8888. Send the voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal number on 090970544 and 50. Remember that it is an abridged show this morning, so we encourage you to stick to the headlines and be very, very quick with your contributions. That way we accommodate, as many callers as we can on the show. Do not forget to stay factual and avoid the use of vulgar or obscene language. Hello and good morning to you.
Good morning. I greet all listeners.
Thank you very much. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Okay, sorry. Who's my name?
All right, thank you. You still have an embargo on your but I really do not think that it's in my place to lift that ban of Okwi, but just maybe the management will look into it. And
good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where you're calling from?
This is Sonny OK 3030, Mr. Chelsea, agent of Edward Medi Moses Casedo Ezo Fernandez.
Okay, Mr. Chelsea. I will just think Mr. Chelsea. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Now?
Please go ahead. What's on Eagle's Wings? This is a newspaper review, all the pages. All right.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm calling from Life Camp.
Good to have you. Please go ahead.
Yes, look at our currency now. It has been stable for almost a year and has been increasing. About $40 billion have been investing. What people hear is that they understand that they would say they never has to stay when we get to because when you're then cost of production will reduce and a lot of things like that. So we are getting there.
Okay.
So Okunjawala is right in what he has said, and you can't contradict him. And because he's talking on facts, not on sentiment, moving in the right direction, I believe we'll get there. And a year ago, rice was around 100,000. Then that's about 75,000 naira, and it's reducing. By the time we
My Abuja Home Limited, affordable, live the life.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
I suppose it was inevitable.
Eagles 102.3.
All right, we are back. Thank you so much for staying with us. If you are just joining us, this is the pages or the newspaper review live on Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja. Still getting contributions from listener or, the viewer out there as to what you make of the blazing headlines, making the rounds this morning across Nigerian newspapers. The studio lines are still 09073530044 or 09087668888. Send the voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal number on 090970544 and 50. Hello, good morning to you.
Princess, good morning.
Obasanjo, good morning to you.
Good morning, Princess. God bless you. Thank God it's Friday.
Thank God it's Friday. Your location, please.
I'm just calling you from all the way from Lapai managing.
All right, please go ahead.
Nigeria headline, no go finish us, I tell you. Nigerians, what I beg is the economic is very bad. The economic, although our only one of our mother, our sister, our auntie, she said the policies is getting good. So we pray that is our earnest prayer. We won't condemn it. Why? Because she don't talk. We will not against her, but we would still tell her that no, she's living in the big room. So, but we in the country, we are living in the heart pain, where we cannot see the 3 square meal. It's biting Nigerians. Auntie and mommy, please comes to our age. When the president go out to borrow some loans, the loan is consuming us. We don't know whether it is the loan that will save Nigerians. That Mr. President come out plainly and said the era of oil subsidy without entering the office, without consulting the National Assembly, without consulting the executive. He just removed it unaware. So the whole thing is biting us, and the rate of borrowing, it's killing us. Okay. So we were against that. And 2027, the government that promised us what is it called? Let the poor be breathed. The poor are dying. The poor are not breathing. The house rent, the school, nothing. Everything is damaging So, Mr. President, it's a wake-up call this morning. As you hear our auntie talk, say the economic is rebounding. We, the poor, we usually talk every day. We call you to tell you.
Kindly wrap up your thoughts because of time.
Okay, we always told you that the poor are not happy.
All right.
And it's the poor that will vote for you. Please, thank you.
Thank you very much, Obasanjo. The poor are not happy. All right, that's what he is saying right there. I see some messages on the Facebook page or wall. Also, Francis Namani watching us live from Amagunze in Enugu State says, good morning. Mr. President should curtail his incessant foreign trips, incessant borrowings, and focus primarily on how to diversify and fix Nigeria's economy to improve the living standard of Nigerians. Thanks and God bless. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Oza Francis. All right. Hello, good morning to you. Okay, that's a miss. Hello, good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Hello, King Kennedy. Good to have you this morning.
Thank you very much. I'm calling from Cairo.
Right.
See, economy now settled under President Tinubu.
Right.
We have been warned of certain use of vulgar languages, so I wouldn't want to use that. Moreover, the person that this kind of word is coming from is somebody I so much respect enough. But I think she doesn't base here in Nigeria. She based outside there. So, and coming to Nigeria, went straight to Aso Rock. These are places that life is okay. But she should just come down to the street and see what is happening. I think she wouldn't say that. And I heard somebody saying economy is stable. Naira is getting stable. I wish I'll give that person 100, the highest currency of Nigeria, which is 1,000 naira note, to go to USA and let me see what he will buy. And you are telling us that the economy is getting settled. May God have mercy on us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, King Kennedy, for your contribution this morning. But you know what? Let's not make a storm in a teacup over, views that do not align with yours. At the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to be discussing this very, very critically and constructively with an economist. Let's really see. Maybe we are the ones not getting it rightly, or we're yet to comprehend, the giant strides that have been, made under President Bola Tinubu's administration as far as the economy is concerned. So let's see. We hope to, cross the T's and dot the I's properly at the 9 o'clock hour. So once again, do to join us at that time. Now, quickly head on to the WhatsApp portal now to press play to some of the voice notes that we have on here. Right. I see this one. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, Omoife. Good morning, Yudi. Good morning, everybody in the house. This morning, I am speaking from Gariki. This is Matthew, aka the Rejected Stone. I'm speaking from Gariki. You see where we find ourselves in this country. They are talking of borrowing money, how to grow this country. They are not talking of how the masses are suffering. The president is targeting how many billions dollar, $1 million because of what? Because of politics. All these things are politics. Nothing to read about. And I'll talk about the governor of Safara again. Thank God for the man. The man, I really appreciate the man. How will you go ahead and negotiate with bandit? The people that are killing your people, killing your brothers and your sister, you will come out, you will go. People will be telling you to negotiate with them. You should not negotiate with them. You should treat them as a terrorist. They are terrorists and they remain terrorists. God will bless the governor of Zamfara. Let all the state take their stand. They should not negotiate with them. They should look for them wherever they are. They should look for them and kill them. Look at what is happening because they fail. Because look at what is happening, because the lady fail or the other person you are talking about, he trying to prevent them not to raping her sister, then kill them, murder her. The country we found ourselves, the government are not doing what they are supposed to do. They are not doing what they are supposed to do, but God will help us. One day we'll get it right. Election is coming. They are talking about election everywhere. Election, 2027 election. They did not talk about mercy. They did not talk about what we are passing through. God will help us. God will deliver us from their hand. 2027 will tell who is who. God will bless us. God bless Nigeria. God bless Igwe FM.
Matthew, the Rejected Stone. Thank you so much for your take. Good morning,
Good morning, Omo Efe. I celebrate you and the gift of life. Only you in the studio. Right. I know how the voice of the man on microphone, the man with a golden voice. Thank God it's Friday, as you rightly said. Ngozi statement is a very, very correct statement. I totally agree with her, truly. But Nigeria should not misquote her. She has gone further to explain it that the economy is stable. But the one that remains now is for Nigeria to see the real actual money gather, working for the poor masses like us, working to the level of downtrodden. That was what she said. And truly, they have made a hell of money. But taking the money, sharing to the governor just to plan for 2027, that is why Nigerians are still crying. We are waiting to see the real truth of the money, whether it will get down to us. Well, on the PDP and APC name or link to terrorist group, then they should clear Boko Haram for us, clear bandit for us, clear hate men for us, please. Nigeria will get it right. We are moving there, very close to the place. Salasi, I greet you. Good morning.
All right, Triple D, thank you so much for your contribution this morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Eagles FM. This is Blessed Sonny from Niger State.
All right.
On Ngozo Konjiwela telling us about the economic is this is stable or what. The thing I want to say is that see, everything is very, very good and okay on paper. On paper, in fact, Nigerian is like Eldorado. On paper, Nigeria is more okay than even American and other distant. But on reality, may they live also. On reality, Nigerians are passing through hell. On reality, that is the truth. So if you are telling me that the economy is a good, or the economy is stable, or the economy is a pumping, how are we feeling it? We are not feeling it. Okay, and my brother is saying that we expect fuel to be like 25 naira. Is it even a crime if we even buy fuel even 25? Is it a crime? Did God make a mistake by giving us making us oil producing country? If we buy fuel even cheap, is it a bad thing? Look at the way we are. Some people are just going on paper and saying other things. Good morning, my sister Beg.
All right, good morning to you. But we must learn to respect each other's, views and opinions. I mean, especially when they are shared on national radio. All right. I see this message. Did you state your name at all? Okay, this is Prosper. Prosper from Abuja says, based on facts, the central factor that facilitates production, which is energy, whose source is PMS and diesel in Nigeria, is still on the high side. Hence, reality of professional positive analysis in our economy is yet to be experienced, embraced by regular Nigerians. Cut cost of SUVs and governance and corruption in particular by enshrining in the constitution severe penalty as death to be meted out on politicians embezzling public funds in unimaginable figures. Secure lives, that's sacred, and property. Often glued to this dial when you're on. All right, Prosper, that's good to know. Politicians should stop deceiving useless thinking. Okay, where are products from the supposed revamped Port Harcourt refinery? I beg. That's what Prosper is saying. Prosper, thank you. Chima from Airport Road says, good morning, my sister. Well done work. Thank you. There's a difference between we are getting there and we are there. Please, this propaganda and fake promises is too much. Where are the foreign investors? My sister, travel from East to Abuja. Here, you will vow not to try it again. Truth cannot be hidden. It is there to see and even touch. That's what Chima from Airport Road is saying. Chima, thank you so much for that message. Well, once again, at 9 a.m. this morning, we're going to be looking at Nigeria's economy. Having a candid conversation with an economist at that time as well would actually maybe help us adjust our thought lines and thought patterns as far as the economy is concerned. Please do well to join us at 9 a.m. this morning. It promises to be a thought-provoking and insightful conversation. Also expository, if you like, at the 9 o'clock hour. I'd like to wrap things up now because we've got bills to pay. My name is Omoife Peace or Semere, and I'd like to state that the views expressed on the show this morning were not influenced by Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja. Thank you so much for starting your day with us.